Mango habanero sauce is one of my favorite sauces ever. It is not just spicy but sweet. It is made with one of my favorite fruits, mango, so absolutely something that I love. It pairs so beautifully with my coconut shrimp. It is just as delicious on chicken wings and goes on a lot of things. You can use it as a dip, as a condiment, marinade, you name it. Let's do this. I know you are going to enjoy this recipe. So I'm using some habaneros, so I have some red as well as orange. I also have one onion and some garlic as well. I am going to be roasting these ingredients, and I'm going to start off by cutting up my onion. Now I'm going to transfer my peppers, garlic as well as my cut up onion into a baking dish. I'm going to also drizzle a little bit of avocado oil onto these. Toss to make sure that the oil coats everything, which is going to help in the roasting process. I'm trying to separate my onions, just trying to get them all split up so the heat can hit it. This is not going to be in the oven for too long. It's actually going to be broiled, so I'm more like roasting it, and it's only going to be in there for about 6 minutes. So you want your onions not to be too thick or bulky. I'm just trying to split it so it's easier for the heat to hit it and soften it up a little bit. So I've turned my oven on broil, and I'm going to let this boil in there for about 6 minutes. Whilst that is happening, I'm going to cut up my mangoes. These are very ripe, very sweet as well. So my sauce is just gonna be just as sweet and spicy as I want it to be, judging from the amount of peppers I'm using and the sweetness I'm talking about here. So I'm going to cut my mango this way, trying to cut the flesh, leaving the core or the seed. To make it easy for you to just get the flesh of your mango, you want to just cut, more like make a grid on your fruit that you cut just like this. And once you flip it inwards like this, you see the fruit is just pretty much falling off the skin at this point, and it's so easy for you to just scoop it up with a spoon once this is done. So I'm going to do this with both of my mangoes and the parts that I have cut, and then we'll proceed. There we go. Beautiful and quick. So now I'm just going to go ahead and scoop the flesh right here into a bowl. See how easily it comes off. This is so sweet. It has so much juices in it as well, and it's just going to be perfect. So if you have some mango sitting there, you don't know what to do with it, you're tired of eating it, this is something that you should make. The seed or core also has a lot of flesh on it still, so you want to use your spoon to scrape as much of it off as you can. Either put it right here into your sauce or just eat it. But don't throw the seed away because it still has so much goodness on it. I am just going to add it here into my sauce so I can have a lot of it. I'm going to be needing 2 limes, so I'm going to cut them up and set them aside. This is not just going to bring some citrus hint to the sauce, it's also going to provide that tropical vibe, that along with some pineapple juice that I'm going to be adding. My vegetables are roasted, a little bit charred, that's how you want it to be. And now I'm going to transfer it here into my food processor. To that, I'm going to add my mangoes. I'm also going to add some black pepper, some salt. I'm also going to juice my lime right here over everything, just like so. So I'm going to be adding some distilled or white vinegar as well. And here I also have some pineapple juice. This is freshly squeezed pineapple. You can use store-bought if that's what you have available, but definitely fresh is always going to be better. I'm also going to be adding some honey for sweetness. Now I'm going to cover and blend. Once you're done blending, you can go ahead and strain this. Depending on how thick you want your sauce to be, you could use a strainer that is very fine or one that is not too fine. I want to have a little bit of texture to mine. I want to see specks of the ingredients in there, especially the peppers. The one that I buy in store has specks of peppers in it, and I think that makes it even more beautiful. So I'm going to use a strainer that is going to allow some of these particles to seep through so that my sauce is not going to be very liquidy, but have a little bit of texture. So this is what I have, and I'm going to cook this a little bit, not just to reduce it, but also to help all the ingredients in here to get a chance to cook a little bit. If you feel like your sauce is too thick at this point, you can dilute it with some more pineapple juice. So I'm going to just bring this to a boil, and it's just going to be on for about 20 minutes on low heat. Once it starts boiling, you want to stir it. You don't want your sauce to just keep boiling without you trying to give it attention, because then all that sweetness and most of your ingredients is just going to be stuck on the corners of your pan, and you really don't want that to happen. So occasionally just stir, trying to scrape the sides until it is all the way cooked. So once it begins to boil, you can just let it be, and that's going to be your final product. If you also desire to put a little bit of cornstarch, you could go ahead and do that. And for this, I'm going to thicken with a little bit of cornstarch, and like I said, that is very optional. So I mixed about a teaspoon of cornstarch with about 3 tablespoons of water, and using a whisk, I just poured that in here. You want to use something that is going to help you mix it quickly so it does not just form a clump or lump inside your sauce, and then it's really not going to be mixed in there, but you have a little bit of like a dumpling in there or little nodules in your sauce. You want it to be smooth. The only thing that has to be laying in here is the specks of your ingredients. Allow this to simmer for about 3 minutes and your sauce is done. This thickness is perfect for me. If you want yours any lighter or thicker, you can adjust your ingredients as you want. I want this not to only be a dipping sauce, but a marinade as well. So once it cools off a little bit, you want to transfer it into your bottles or whatever airtight containers you have in mind to use to store these. And there you have it, fam. Very simple to make homemade mango habanero sauce. You can use scotch bonnet, so you can have your scotch bonnet version, which is going to be a brighter orange color, even more beautiful, but I could only find habaneros at this point. So there we go. So I've got the sauce. Who's making the wings? Who's making the coconut shrimp? This is going to be so good on so many things. You can have your fried yam with it. You can dip your french fries in it if you want something spicy for it. You can make hot wings with it. But my favorite way of having this is as a dip with my coconut shrimp. Oh, so good. The choices to what you can do with this sauce is endless, and I hope you come up with some amazing ways to use it and share with me. Thanks so much for watching. Kindly give me a thumbs up and share. And until I come your way next time with something delicious, be loving, be kind, be happy.